Hello, I'm Jack Jordan. I'm a psychologist and a grief counselor. Joining me today are 5 people who have all lost someone they loved to suicide. Since everyone's experience is unique, we've asked each of them simply to share their own stories, their own perspective, and what has worked for them. To begin, I'd like to ask each of our panelists to take a minute to introduce themselves and to tell us a little bit about the loved one that they lost. Deb, could I start with you?
Sure. My name is Deb Clancy, and I lost my high school sweetheart and husband to suicide in February of 1995. At that time, we had 3 small children. Their ages were 7, 9, and 11. I think the most difficult part of losing a spouse was dealing with the insurmountable grief and having to get up and deal with 3 children, but also somebody had to place blame, and his family placed the blame on me. So it was a double grief, and I lost a husband and I lost a family. I dealt with 2 years of suicidal threats, so it was something that was really tough to deal with at that point in time. There wasn't, in 1995, what we have now, unfortunately.
Thank you. Luanne?
My name is Luanne, Cali, and I lost my best friend, Linda Konu, to suicide in 2004. We met each other in 1974 in the Army, and the first thing I thought about her was that she was somebody I should stay away from. I don't know how come I had that feeling or not, but within 2 weeks we had this connection that we never lost over the 30 years. She was my first partner. I loved her, and then we were best friends for 30 years. We were partners for 4 years, and the rest of the time we were just best friends. We always looked out for each other and took care of each other, even when we didn't live in the same city. And for the last 10 years of her life, we didn't live in the same city. We saw each other a lot. 4 months before she died, she came to live with my partner and I, hoping that maybe we could help her out. She was having trouble again with alcohol and drugs, pain, physical pain. She couldn't work. And she came up to start new, and 4 months later I went to her house and she had died by suicide. It's been really a journey.
Thank you. Christian?
Yeah, my name's Christian Pitkin, and I lost my dad, Bill Pitkin. Took his life 5 years ago, June 11th, 2003. And he was someone who is definitely one of my best friends, someone I loved very much, and I definitely missed talking to him very much. He was really a very optimistic person, a natural leader, someone who loved life, and really the person who I least likely thought would take his life. And that's exactly what happened. So it's definitely something where you don't realize someone can actually be hurting so much inside. And he actually even said when we had a neighbor that actually took his life, and I remember him saying, you know, I can't believe something could get that bad or someone would take their life. I would never do such a thing. And yet he was struck by depression and then took his life. And so it's amazing to see that what a disease of depression can do to actually someone turn completely the other way. So.
Thank you. Peggy?
I'm Peggy Morse, and I lost my son, my only child, Brian, to suicide 11 years ago. I was a single parent at the time, and he was my only child. So Brian was really a bright kid. He was active in school, played double bass in the orchestra. He manned the teleprompter in the high school TV news program. And he had a real passion for writing. He loved to write stories about time travel and science fiction. And you would think he was a normal teenager. He was just beginning to have signs of depression and had been seeing a psychologist for a couple of months and had just been released from his meetings with the counselor for summer vacation, and 2 days later, he took his own life. So it was totally unexpected. At the time, my former husband came when I couldn't find him, and we together discovered his body in the woods. He had hung himself. So that visual image is something that just never goes away. And I've worked hard to deal with it through the years. So.
Lizette?
I'm Lizette Martinez. I'm from Los Angeles, and I lost my brother Miguel to suicide in 2004. He was 24, almost 25 at the time, and I was 20. He's my only sibling. And he was a really talented musician and a very passionate recording engineer. He loved what he did. That was the only thing you could get him to do, was play or record music. And he and I never had such a, fairy tale kind of brother-sister relationship. I was always his stupid little sister, but he adored me and he took care of me, and he was a jealous older brother. And I knew that he loved me, and I loved him so much too. And he unfortunately battled depression for many years, and he didn't seek any treatment. He was an overly sensitive person, where it took a real effort for him to get over small turmoil in his life. So he had a pretty up and down, on and off relationship with a girl, and he lost a good friend of his in his junior year of high school to suicide. So one thing after another, he lost a really good job, and he just never pulled out of it. And the day he died, I found out that he was using cocaine, and he had been for a couple of months, which explained his really odd behavior. But it was too late. I couldn't do anything for him. The day that I was going to write him a letter was the day that he died.
Thank you. Actually, thank you to each of you. I know that just sitting here saying the name of your loved one and telling us a little bit about their life is difficult, and it takes great courage to do it.